The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of theBobberyCast, in which, of course, we have a German who's already vying for attention. I was gonna say I got a new haircut, so it must be a new season for the BobberyCast, but like Christian, so yeah, you're welcome back here on the show. Without beard this time, will you survive that?
Yes, but you have hair loss lately.
But, yeah, like it's every time I was trying to get in touch with you and waiting for a reply. Oh, come on. Let's stop being silly. We actually have serious guests here. Guys, mind introducing yourself?
Hey. Katrina Chua from MyLegalWhiz.
Yeah, I'm also from MyLegalWhiz. I'm the co-founder of MyLegalWhiz. I'm also the CEO of MyLegalWhiz, our startup. Yeah, I'm Dexter Feliciano, sorry.
Mind introducing MyLegalWhiz as well for those who don't know? Not everyone was last week at Echelon.
Yeah, sure. MyLegalWhiz is basically a smart and simple alternative for legal research. This is very useful for lawyers because right now lawyers use a variety of tools and resources in the web like Google, CD Asia, LexisNexis, and Westlaw. But these are a lot of materials that provide for vast amounts of information. But what we do is we curate them, we organize them, then we annotate them. Then we provide it through phones, tablets, and personal computers.
So MyLegalWhiz is basically the index of Philippine law and precedents.
Right now, it's mostly just Philippine case law, but we're slowly adding administrative rulings like BIR rulings and SEC rulings, but we haven't launched that yet.
Okay, in the last half year, you guys were in Launch Garage.
Yes.
I remember you first started going to promote just before Launch Garage, I think. MyLegalWhiz was first promoted, and then you entered Launch Garage. How was that period for He's not here, you can say whatever you want now.
I was thinking we should have brought the video and you pitched to Launch Garage.
Yeah. It was completely different from how we pitched during Echelon. So there you can see how effective the training and mentoring was.
Let me quickly email them for the archives. How was Launch Garage for you guys? What did it all change? Because I remember Dexter telling me first time we met, you were quite confident, we're ready to go. We actually came because strategic partnerships and everything. And then Launch Garage, a lot changed. You guys actually went offline for a while.
We really switched. We switched gears because when we before Launch Garage, we were just selling. We had version 1 then out, and then we were selling it and we were getting customers. And we had a bit of traction when we pitched to Launch Garage. But when we entered the program, we were forced to step back, slow down, and just focus on improving and developing the product, especially on the back end side, before we can scale. And then, within the 6 months, we focused on coming up with a better version, actually, that we're starting to sell now, and we're getting positive responses from it. And
that resulted in last Saturday, Echelon Philippines Satellite, where you guys won.
Yes.
Congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you. I honestly was not expecting it.
Yeah, I was really thankful for Launch Garage and the Kickstart family because they really trained us very well.
Yeah, it was
it's not really about about the funding, although they gave us a good amount of funding for the development of our second version, but it's really about the guidance, helping us in refining our pitches and also training us how to be lean which is very important in our stage.
Yeah, and we just really felt like we matured a lot as entrepreneurs and as just decision makers. And
we were happy that we won, although we really practiced it, right?
yeah, I think everyone practiced.
What, the winning or the pitching?
The pitching.
Like last 4 months, Dexter was there. I'm gonna win, yeah! Practicing the celebration, pitching, like, oh, Friday checkpoint. Oh,
I saw the pictures. He was very quiet. He was very settled. Probably shock and awe state. You know, like, oh, I won. Oh my God, what's happened now?
So how was it for you guys?
The launch garage?
With Launch Garage, MyLegalWhiz, who actually those who joined were upon joining one of the most advanced.
Traction-wise, yeah. No, I think in general, I mean, we learned, as the teams started, we learned a lot as well ourselves, right, in terms of assessment, training, and so on. And we have to admit, we probably tiered all the teams apart every Friday. Now the review sessions are Wednesday, and it was really about like, okay, you learned something. Now look at it. What did you learn? What is the conclusion out of it? Because a lot of people are actually starters in this country. They read the Lean Starter book, but they don't apply it. They just put it in. It's the Holy Bible in the bookshelf, and then they're like, yeah, I read it. And then like, okay, what does it mean? Well, I'm running lean. You know, I eat ramen, and I only have beer once a week, and that's running very lean. But what you really have to get into people is this iterative thinking. You do something, you roll out a feature, you assess it, you see the feedback, you either roll it back or you stop. So in MyLegalWhiz case, we said they were great sellers, and I mean, you guys, when you came in, you already sold a bunch of licenses to lawyers, so you already were, cash was not the issue, but your product needed refinement. You were actually speeding in terms of product development, but what we did, and you were right, we said put a handbrake on and look at it, what are the feedback people actually giving, and I think it led to very great improvements in your UI, which is now really mobile, because you figured out your lawyers are not hanging in front of a computer, they're all going around with their iPad and stuff like that.
You know, first time I saw it, I thought like, hey look, developed for and on BlackBerry. It was like, to be honest, my first impression, and I thought like, this is going to require a lot of work. And then I heard from the guys at ProudCloud as well, like totally the backend you guys rebuilt in those periods.
Basically had to tear it down and ask somebody else to build it all over again.
There was a lot of learnings involved, a lot of
actually
emotions.
Yeah, and a lot of passive aggressive minus the passive status updates on Facebook.
It's the first time for launch coach to run. I mean, like Jay, Minette, Dan, myself, Pierre, we had a lot of learnings. The same guys, all the participants like work inspire MyLegalWhiz, Activate, Tripside. It's the same. Like every Friday, now it's Wednesdays. We were like assessing them at the same time we always had later the self-reflection, like, oh my God, what just happened? Right? And it is now that you guys won, it seemed, in my opinion, it's a proven program. We're going to do it again. I think Jay is already setting up all this stuff, the initial question, all this stuff, so we're going to do it again. I think what we're going to do probably first is like really from day one, really tearing it apart. Yeah, because before we were like soft, you know, like it's something new, and then culture-wise, you also try to be a bit more gentle. But actually, the hands-on approach is something very important. Yeah. I mean, really, that's what Lean is teaching you, right? And you guys, you had a great learning curve. All the teams actually went from when I saw the first pictures, and we have them on a DV. We actually. Dennis digitizing them now. We actually want to put them in a closed folder and say, this is how you started, and this is your pitch at Echelon. I mean, it is just 300% improvement. And that's also, I think, a lot of, like you guys, training yourself, right? What to do, answering questions and stuff. I mean, it's, at the end of the day, it's product is one, the team is the most important part for a startup. After seeing all these guys going through it, I'm just convinced
that works in every way. It's also with investors, like finding the wrong investor is like suicide. No one knew actually what to go in, I would assume, with Launch Garage, because first time for you guys, okay, there was a background, but that was high level VC. But I see so many startups constantly courting those who may, and I can often say like, no, they will not invest in you because you're not a match to begin with. But like, I guess the most important for you guys is also having the right people, like Christian, Jay, who know what they're talking about. The pollenizer guys who came over several times.
They did the hard part.
Yeah.
They broke down the
they had a Monday.
molecules. And yes, they had a Monday to break it down, put it together, but make from silicon to a diamond. Yeah, like just put the pressure on. I think you guys went through it. It probably were sometimes tough, especially if you have assessments and like that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Also then taking the guts as a founder to say it doesn't work. Like you have to move on to the next step. And I think, investor-wise, I think what's most important is at the end of the day traction. You see a lot of people pitching here. You have traction, right? A lot of people pitching here and they don't have any traction. But it can be always a nice concept.
But they have a 5-year business plan.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's also in our case we always learn. So when they have inputs, we always take a look. For example, our pitch, we always take it a look. Then we refine it every day, almost every day. So when you see our pitch right now, it's very different from our pitch 2 days ago or 3 days ago. That's why they were also surprised when we were also presenting during every checkpoints.
Even a week before we changed something. And then
even before that, even after the Singtel pitch, we changed something for the Echelon pitch.
I think the magic is really to get a lot of feedback at any stage, most early stages. And the most important thing is blood feedback. I mean,
that's true.
We're Europeans, we're used to it. If I don't like something, I will tell you, right? And I do it in the same.
How was that for
you?
you?
In the same manner here.
How was that for you? Because I've got rumors that occasionally you were told, like, Christian, you cannot say that like that.
I usually ignore it and just continue.
Boy.
No, but it's very important because like these guys, they have a limited amount of funding in the early stage, right? If they just go back home and discuss it, it doesn't help because the clock is running, right? It's a 6-month program.
Launch Garage in that matter was also really hands-on. So when you entered, what did you expect? Had you any idea what to expect?
What do you expect? Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I think like what we experienced with Launch Garage was completely like not what we expected. Because at first we were just looking for funding. Like any early stage entrepreneurs, we were just, it's what we needed the most, money. But as we went through the program, we realized money is just a very small part of it. Because money you can get from your customers. But just training, mentoring, teaching you how to like develop your business the right way, not scale too fast, and just evaluate and challenge your assumptions, things like that. We learned through the Launch Garage program, and we would have made a lot more mistakes and would have tanked the business probably.
So, are you saying you don't think you would have reached this level without Launch Garage?
Maybe it will take us a long time if we didn't realize the lean startup methodology. Maybe it will take another year that we have made a mistake again. We did not release immediately these features and test it, and then again we iterate, then we release it again. Maybe it will take us a long time.
Lean puts a lot of stress because you have to go really fast, but it doesn't work if you want to create the next Tesla. But for startups online, it's definitely awesome.
Yeah, just the concept of being lean and learning fast is something that we really learned and adopted from Launch Garage. And just like the weekly checkpoints, that's part of learning fast because every
stress level increases.
Yes, and then they will really be very direct with you and tell you what's wrong or what you're doing or what you should be doing. And without that, I mean, if you just rely on your customer feedback, they won't always tell you what you're doing.
Exactly. And also, we did not travel a straight path in our journey because, as Christian knows, we had a lot of developers who we changed a lot of developers and programs along the way before we came up with this new version. So I was worried before that we may not be able to finish what we need to finish to accomplish, but thankfully we were able to do it.
Also because of Lunch Garage program, because that's where we met Open Debate, Christian Blanquer's team.
Yeah.
But it's the same.
really helped us out.
It's about networking as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's the one is acceleration, really putting you, like I said, you put you in a rice cooker and then start boiling it up, and things you usually learn in like a year you have to do in 6 months or even less, because otherwise you get
And
kicked out.
the networking, I remember we had a discussion some months ago that I'm such a big fan of the campus model, which is all because of that. And I think the company who does it best is Google. They really go to the limit in the way of developers. They don't have to take care of their laundry. Every week, that day, at that time, someone comes and picks up everything that is in and near the laundry basket.
Okay, I think Jay didn't do it for that. I mean, did Jay make your laundry? I don't think so.
No, but the Open Lunch Garage was an accelerator where it was not compulsory to be there every day. But then the main thing is why I'm a fan of it is then Google also pays, for example, for happy hour every week. And then developers of different departments, but nerds as they are, they meet with each other. And it's always about code that they are talking. So it's I have that issue, and so did you try that? So immediately after the drinks, they go back and continue fixing.
Yeah.
Tony had always beers in the fridge in Prague Lab.
Yeah, I remember actually no.
Friday he made sure every time I came there was beer there.
So that's also when you had checkpoints there.
Yeah, now it's easier on Wednesdays in the Kickstarter office, the new one. Yeah.
There's beer as well.
Yeah.
It's a nice fridge you guys have there.
There's a lot of space for beer.
I know, I've got exactly the same. Go to the store. Hey, I like how white that is. Oh, that's a lot of beer in there that you can put. Anyway, back to the BobberyCast. Yeah, we have some side trips. What did you guys expect when you started?
Oh well, the failure quote is 3 out of 4. That's, I mean, let's face it, right? That's when you look at Y Combinator and so on, usually 50% fails. We thought we had a little bit more because we're in the Philippines, right? But it's actually surprising. A lot of them it's doing very well, and then most of them are doing well. Pictures are awesome. Now the next milestone for them is to, in MyLegalWhiz case, it's any additional funding they reach is actually just putting another adrenaline shot into the heart, because you already have money back from your customers, right? You just gain another hundreds of customers, so it's just like floating cash. But usually you get measured on what's the next round of funding they raise, what's the valuation, so you can say your program floated X amount of 100,000 whatever pesos valuation of the initial point, from the initial point. But it was a roller coaster ride, yes.
Yeah.
So basically every Friday afternoon when there was checkpoint, I will tell you what actually happened. It's open Facebook. Oh, it must be Friday again. One could see it at the level of aggressivity in the update.
That's why we moved it to Wednesday. It's more balanced.
People would hit me up like, "What's up with him now? I don't know. I only know a checkpoint."
Yeah. Well, it's. I think it's mutual learning, and it's the same what we learned with our Kickstarter investees. It's the first time. I mean, Kickstarter is a year old. Lounge Garage was born in the same way when Jamie, Ned, Dan, and myself, we sat together like, hey, we have to do something which helps people at a very early stage who have not real revenues, no real attractions, which actually need somebody like Jay hovering over them to say, hey, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? So it was really, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what to do. We just had like worst case figures, like prepare yourself. But
I think you guys of course talked about wanting to do that, but Launch Garage in itself also was born semi-lean in the way of based on feedback you got from startups.
Yeah.
And then like how important for some funding was to move quicklier. Because you guys were really fast. September 15 announced, October 15 it started.
Well, thanks to Jay, he really pushed us. No, we were looking at Kickstarter investees, right? And Jay brought some along, and we were discussing, and some of them we were assessing. We thought they were not yet ready for a larger Kickstarter investment. So he cooked up that, and the credits go to him. I mean, he cooked up that idea that we could just put them all in his office, and Kickstarter will help with the funding. He will take care of the mentoring, building the mentorship network, and we got some external mentors in as well. And that, as you see, this collaboration works out very well, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like, he's the non-conformist who really does push them with, and then he's the startup star, he has the background here. He has been there before, he has failed, he has learned, he has iterated fast, he sold his previous startup and so on. So he knows the various pain points and probable worries you have in the middle of the night. You look at your bank account, oh my god, I'm running out of cash. What am I going to do now, right? Yeah. So this kind of stuff, I think it works very well. Let's see how he's opening it up soon again, and there's already a long list of people who want to participate.
Beyond learning Lean, what were the main points for you guys in Launch Garage, in the program?
For me, what I learned, especially with Launch Garage and the checkpoint sessions, was somehow you have to balance being passionate about what you do, and in some areas being unemotional, because you have to not be attached to a certain feature that you like, or a certain idea that you have. If it's not working, you have to let it go and move on very fast. So that's something that, for me, like, that's how I matured.
It's the risk of falling in love with your product if you're sitting too long in it.
Did you expect that MyLegalWhiz at some point would become what it is now? Is this where you wanted to be, or did Lean kind of, I would not call it a pivot, it was an evolution actually for MyLegalWhiz, but did it like kind of track away from where you wanted to go during the program?
Yeah, actually, the Lean startup methodology and the mentorship really helped us a lot. Even before the Launch Garage program, we have something, we were doing something, but we really pivoted to research because we're doing a big virtual office with all these features. But when we went to Launch Garage, they gave us guidance really towards where we are right now, basically.
And was that what you wanted to build?
Yeah.
Where you are now?
Yes, yes.
Because when I saw it the first time, and then when Launch Garage, the garage hats were announced, I really thought like this is a no-brainer for me also, because my father had a big legal documentation at home, and he is the guy who used to be the guy with the index cards. Basically bought the whole Belgian legislation back then, and a guy who had like, no, actually it's massive. And then the guy he bought it from had shoe boxes full with index cards. And my father, he started like scanning everything. I think we had a 486 back then, everything manually, like, took him a year. And like then I heard of MyLegalWhiz, and that was really one of those moments, wait, the Philippines don't have this yet. Oh yeah, like we're still 5 years behind. Newsflash, Frankie, you're not in Europe. But so I really thought, and also when you guys won, like, it makes sense. It's a really strong program.
Yeah, and I think, well, there were a lot of good ideas pitched at Echelon, and it wasn't just about the idea. I think it was also about how you presented that idea, which I think we really benefited from the training. And the message and the idea was refined through Launch Garage, and the message that we were sending was, I think, we were forced to really condense the whole idea of MyLegalWhiz into like a couple of slides, and then present it in the best way to an investor.
Yeah. And so what's next? Raising another round? Or actually first round?
Yeah, hopefully we can raise $300,000 because we need to get some support from lawyers so we can index a lot more cases and laws and be able to curate and annotate them. And also we need to have a strong technology team so we can deliver those content easily for our customers.
So, yeah, $300,000 would be nice. I mean, it would really go a long way to accelerate our plans. But right now, immediately, what we're doing is selling again. So we're back to selling. Because we've come out with version 2 already.
Do your customer like it? Do they like it?
Yeah.
What's the feedback?
The feedback, yeah, they really like the new UI with the new functions, the universal search, and we're still testing some of the features, and hopefully you can get good feedback so we can develop it more.
And if not, you iterate again.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do.
I think one key thing when we took you into Launch Garage was like you had this wide idea and all of that.
Yeah.
And I think I remember, Jace, it's just like focus on one thing, nail it.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and virtual office, there are so many people out there offering that. Why don't you do your unique selling proposition? The thing you're best at. That's this. Nail this in the Philippines, nail it in the market.
That's also something you mentioned before. Indirectly, it goes together with like people have heard of lean, and in the Philippines, in the scene, we see it every day. It's all about buzzwords.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then like you always say, like, how often do you iterate? Oh well, I only drink beer once a week. That isn't that lean. Like, no, that's not a lean methodology. So like, and of course the great thing is you guys now know that you can continue doing so. You know how to listen. You also know, as you mentioned, how to detach yourself when required. And
you
I
have
think
a support network now. I mean, that's one thing. You come out there, you get your mentors, who still will talk to you afterwards. You get your fellow garage heads, all these. I mean, the biggest thing coming out of it is like we were asked what's happened after 6 months, and I said we're just gonna catapult you all out of it, right? It's that network is still. I mean, that's what Silicon Valley, the basic fiber is of, is a network, right? So slowly but steady, we're building.
And you guys are going to do further checkpoints,
well,
or not?
I think we're gonna slow it down because
Not weekly anymore.
not weekly.
but-
I mean, I think they're tired of us by then, so they probably need a rehabilitation program or something like that. Because we're gonna take new ones in, right? And it's already very compressed, so we're gonna slow it down a little bit. And I think they're grown up, as you would say.
And there's quite some that Jay even didn't get to, like he didn't do Scrum.
Yeah, we really, that's one thing we're assessing right now, how we compact things even more. The problem is if you do too much mentorship and training, they don't have time to work on their product, right? So you have to find a balance between the things.
So while he sits here, like, negative feedback, do a Bessler.
There's any feedback, welcome. Actually,
half a year of Launch Garage.
Actually, on
what
the
were the most difficult moments? Sorry.
The most difficult moments?
And now you can be blunt.
Yeah, because before we were the checkpoints, and as I said a while ago, we were having problems with our technical team.
Yeah.
So that's very crucial for us, and we thought we got one, but
Didn't turn out.
didn't really deliver. So, but the good thing is we were able to get someone, a new team, to build the new UI. So everything is part of the journey, and we enjoyed it actually. Even if there are ups and downs, we learned from it.
I remember about the technical struggles as well, because one of the early co-founders.
That was like the theme for us. It's always been like the technical side.
I actually was at an event where he was. I've forgotten his name. It was so interesting, but where I think I mentioned it to you afterwards. where he was invited as a guest speaker, and like he was, oh, and we are so good, and like after 10 minutes I said like, shut up, because like really what you've built, and this is no offense to Dexter and the MyLegalWhiz team, but it sucks. Because as said, my initial impression, built for BlackBerry and built on BlackBerry, that's how it really seemed to me. And of course, like, how can you guys help? I know that you guys help, like you need to improve, you need to find other team members. We occasionally off the record talk about how teams are composed and how people need to go.
What we're trying to do is like, usually like we have like founders drinks, we have like, we have you guys gatherings, all this together. What we're trying to do is, we have the Kickstart mixers, and we're hoping it is a natural process. You bump into, it's like dating, you bump into somebody you find interesting, and it moves a long way. Unfortunately, it's not yet here in the Philippines, so we have to still improve this a little bit. Like talent, the good talent, you know, is all sucked up by big time companies, right? The multinationals. So the startups have to be yet a proposition. But I remember when Jay, when we launched the Launchpad thing, he's like, hey, funded startups in an accelerator looking for people, because you know the key differentiator is like funded.
We can pay.
Yes, because everybody thinks like, oh, startups, they don't have money. Right? Yeah. But if you say, oh, they are funded, they can actually pay you a salary, and if you do it well, you actually have a chance to gain certain equity. So the windfall later on, it's very important. But we learned with you guys, with a couple of others too, is like people don't get the concept of equity here yet. Yeah. It's like, equity, what's that? Can I eat this? No, you cannot. Exactly. But in 10 years, you can make a difference between living there and living somewhere nice in Makati.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. So this paying forward thing that is a struggle, which all the teams went through when they hired. They were like, okay, we'd like to pay you equity. You know, equity on the plate.
It's okay, you will still have enough for pot noodles.
Actually, it's like insurance. Here in the Philippines, there's still a problem of short-term thinking. So that's the point of, I think, Christian, that instead of thinking for the long run, they think for what food to eat right now, what's immediate right now. So I think it's part of the developing country mentality here in the Philippines. So.
How was it for you guys with the family when you said we're launching a startup?
You first.
What?
Because one of the things I experience, and I think most people know, is people go to corporate, they'd rather work for an outdated software manufacturer or house, because it's a big name, and then saying like, oh, I'm going...
Oh, you mean how the
family reacts?
Yeah, you.
Well, I came from a big firm. Well, I came from a big firm, Sisip Salazar, and obviously my parents liked the idea that I was part of something like solid and had a well-established reputation. So they thought like, my future was secure. And then I spent so much time studying for it, and then I just told them one day that I was like leaving.
Are you the outcast now?
And just going to join a startup with Dex. And well, of course they're my parents, so they'll be supportive. Yeah. But they're hesitant. But of course they're worried. You know, that there's I think for now they're still not absolutely convinced that I'm going to be doing this for.
Did you bring home the Echelon thing? Like, hey, look, we won now.
They don't even understand that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because said, hey, we won the Philippine satellite of the largest startup pitching competition in Asia.
Yeah, I mean, but they're supportive. Yeah. I mean, they as long as they see that we are like progressing and doing well, and that we're earning money. So, you know,
here in the Philippines,
how was it with your parents?
Yeah, with my parents, before they were really resistant with my idea, because I started it from scratch.
Yeah.
So why don't you just work in a law firm? No, I don't think so. I want to make a difference actually from the very beginning. I want to change something, not only from the legal profession, it's just the start. But I think I need to start with the legal profession because there's a lot of things to improve. One is the legal research thing. So going back, my parents are really not familiar with what I'm doing. So they're always asking me. There are some arguments. There are always arguments because in a typical Filipino family, the training is for you to go to college, finish it, and get a good job in a multinational company.
And then there are
go abroad.
And then there are those guys here, those foreigners who say, forget all that, like make a difference. We came here with, I don't know, well yeah, you came here with a gig.
I was part of the reverse slave trade.
And I pretty much came here with, I lived in Cyprus, I'm not that old yet to retire, I'll see how the Philippines are.
And I was giving examples like people who are really successful in abroad and here, those who didn't even finish college. They always tell me, but they're exceptional. But how would you know? Because before, when they were starting, they may not be that exceptional, but they were able to achieve that. And you say that they're exceptional because of their status right now. But
that's a good argument. Yeah. And now you can go back. I'm exceptional too because you made the first step.
First step only. We're just it's just the beginning.
But you know that's what it's needed. There needs to be more examples of young people who step out of that prefabricated story line, right, and say, I can do this. What we call the line B. Well, line A is like it's the same everywhere in the world. Like you go to a nice Ivy League school, blah blah blah, you go up the ranks, and you know.
We have to make clear there have to be more people who go this route, not line A minus, which is actually higher.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, we'll get you very early, we'll give you peanuts, and we can invest more for even more equity.
Well, there are different ways, and I think everybody who is...
Oh, come on, I was just hitting out.
I know you were laying something, but I'm not going to jump on it.
No. Was worth a try.
No, not the money.
Okay, delete that cut.
No, but I think what we need to outline is there are like more people trying. Some of them are going to fail. But there has to be like a backup system. Say, you know, you get a pat on your shoulder like, come on, I'll buy you a beer, and you try it again, right? Rather than making them outcasts and say, wow, look at them, they tried and they failed. It should be just like, yeah, they tried. And that puts them in my book of heroes.
And they are, additionally, if they failed, they are suddenly in a network.
Exactly.
Which will also give more and new opportunities.
Yes, well, I think usually when you're in this network, you actually find your next job in a startup, because they say, oh yeah, I like what you did and it's great. Okay, it didn't work out at the end because the market just collapsed or something happened, like, you know. You say, yeah, why don't you work for me? That's usually what's happening. And I think we're going to see this also in the Philippines, slowly and steady. They're going to be, not everybody's going to make it, but at least everybody's going to try, somehow find its way back into another startup. I think that support system is slowly but steady taking actually shape.
Because earlier you mentioned Y Combinator, who have like 75% fail, but I'm also pretty sure if you look at the startups who have also all gone in there, they have, for example, had several gambles with image uploading services and everything.
The best.
And then I think, like, if you're in there, people meet each other, and it builds new teams, because Paul Graham says usually a startup fails when they don't contact us anymore, but very often 2 years later you find the same founders back in another team. Where did you guys start? Oh, we met each other at Y Combinator and we thought we can do better than what we're working at.
I think it's already working along these guys, like the Kickstarters, Garage Hats. They're already helping each other, trying each other's product, cross-promoting it, making introductions. So it's already rolling. That's actually what you want of that 6 months program, that these people just continue rolling. They have their Rolodex. They're like, hey, I can call this guy because I met him over a beer and he was with me in the same batch. It's just that kind of mentality that it removes barriers among people, and just that network's only growing. It's with every single one you know 5 other people as well. So this is what has to be the outcome of it, I think.
So like we have 4 more minutes. I still have not added commercial advertising slot, which new season, there was so much time in between, I've totally forgotten.
Oh, nice.
So like, 3 minutes to pitch whatever you want. Go for it.
How many lawyers you have on board? No, on air. Pitch it.
Yeah, you want to pitch it? Yeah.
What's next for you guys? What's next?
Yeah,
what are the new features?
Well, we're really excited in developing the system where the lawyers can create and share their content. So instead of us curating and annotating content, we will let them do contribute that, so we can grow the database. But at the same time, we will maintain the quality because we have that system of approval.
Are you hiring? Do you need any lawyers?
We need more legal researchers.
They need more legal researchers.
Yeah, legal research, and of course,
And they're funded.
good technology guys.
Yeah.
Good, really good developers. Those who have, those who don't really think for the short run. Those who really think for the long run, who wants to make a difference. And we're very excited about going to Singapore and pitching again.
June, right? June.
June
4 and 5.
June 4 and 5. We're looking forward to that one, and hopefully we can make a mark and make the Philippines known also for this.
Go out there and tell Singapore, you guys have money, but we're cool. Make that happen because they have their Silicon Valley bubble attitude where, like in the US, they think like this is the US and everything out there are the monsters. Singapore has that as well. I've said that before here already.
I should have brought a beep. Yeah.
So
You shouldn't say hopefully. You're gonna win there. It's no doubt. You're gonna win. Just go. Mentality has to be. You're gonna take them by storm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're actually, when we I just told Kat, because Kat is really conservative, but in a way,
beep beep.
No, we're not there yet.
I know what I mean is
Always the side
I'm
jokes.
more of an optimistic guy. So if I'm given an opportunity, I'll grab it and I'll go for the win. Really.
If I may,
Yeah,
Dexter
go.
always makes sense. I think Kat is very optimistic, outspoken, and she's gonna rock the boat, right? He's always like that.
What?
You think you're very positive, outspoken, and you did a good Q&A during Echelon. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
She rocked the boat. I heard
Yeah.
during
I
Echelon.
heard the same.
So I think she's gonna take Singapore by storm.
Yep.
So maybe you go as hand luggage. Just saying, you know.
No, we took your advice.
Yeah.
Don't talk over each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we divided the duties. He'll do the pitch.
Tag team,
I'll
yeah.
do the Q&A.
That's the right.
And
way.
actually, the good thing is we're really practicing for the expected questions.
It's gonna be more. This is just
So-
your 16th pitch. There's gonna be probably 20, 30, 40, 500 more. And, one day you just wake up in the morning. First thing is you pitch. Alright. So that's the attitude you have to do.
Or you will have cold turkey when there is no pitch that day.
Yeah, you feel like something's missing. Like, oh my god.
Can't I pitch today? Like, come on, just like, Mom, can I pitch to you? Because like going through cold turkey. Anyway, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Go get Singapore.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Go show them the Philippines. All the luck with MyLegalWhiz. And I think in a couple of months we're going to have you guys back here.
With the Singapore trophy.
Yeah, and
That too.
I hope we can inspire a lot of Filipinos, and hopefully they will be able to do their own startups also.
Maybe you should write something about that for the Bobbery, a guest contribution, how you wanted to be exceptional.
Yeah, I like that part.
That part and as inspiration for others who are not sure yet.
Sure. Because a lot of people, even they don't have money, they always give us an excuse that they're not funded. So I think I've proven it. I don't
Yeah.
have funds when I started,
Yeah,
but we're here right now.
Awesome.
we started with
That's a
zero
cool
money.
Yeah.
Zero
And now-
money, zero
Zero.
connections.
And now you
And now you go for another 300,000 and then international expansion.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, thanks to Christian, who I hope we will see more often here.
Hey, we have a startup weekend soon. Can I make a pitch for startup weekend?
Yeah, next weekend it's Startup Weekend special.
Really? Okay.
Next Monday.
Next Monday is it? Wow, nobody gives me email. Let's see. We have a startup weekend on April 26 to 28, and we only have a couple of slots left actually. People signing up like crazy, so I think you better go now as manila.startupweekend.org and get your slot and pitch your awesome idea at the next startup weekend, April 26 to 28 in Mint College.
And network there, because you may find your dev team or your whole co-founding team. Thanks, Kat. Thanks, Dexter, for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks to the people at New Media Factory, whom you can check out all the other shows, and there are several new shows, as well as a new schedule on nmfnetwork.tv. And thanks to the people at Beyond the Box, who this time I didn't pitch at the beginning because I have no money, so I'm not interested in their Apple products right at the moment, but you should check out their Facebook website, their Facebook page for the latest promos. I'm out here.